What up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. Today we are talking about 1997's Starship Troopers. And this one I thoroughly enjoyed so much more than I thought I was going to. I heard this movie was trash, right? People were shitting on this movie and they were like, "Oh, this movie's awful, don't watch that." And then I went back and watched it. Mostly, and I don't know if I liked it because the movie was just pretty good, or if it's because I've been playing HELLDIVERS 2. And if you guys know what HELLDIVERS is and HELLDIVERS 2, it's like whoever created the HELLDIVERS game was definitely, massively inspired by Starship Troopers, right? Because you're guys that go down to the planet and you're going and taking out hordes of bugs and they come after you and they all start coming in hot and you gotta use bombs and explosives and you gotta team up, use your other team to, you're blowing up guns and splattering goop all over you. Like, that's exactly what this movie is. And even the insects in the game, the ones in the games look slightly similar to the ones you see in the movie. Like this image here, I'm almost positive is from HELLDIVERS, but it also looks like it's from the movie because the bugs in the movie look exactly like that too. But you can see this image here. This is an iconic image of him screaming back and Rico's like, "Run, get out of here!" And this giant bug is coming up out of the ground behind him. And that one's like a tank because it's got super armor and stuff. They throw a grenade in its mouth and it blows up everywhere. Like, just really cool. But what got me was the love story, right? Like, I am such a sucker for a love story. Like, this movie, just with them, like, the story of them being Marine guys would have been fine, I guess, and I would have enjoyed it somewhat, but I liked it so much more because, poor Rico has to fight between the girls, right? And Rico's over here, and what was the girl's character's name? So there's Carmen, played by Denise Richards, and Carmen here is with Xander. So Carmen and Xander's played by Patrick Muldoon. Either way, these two are like the pilots, and they go into one branch of the military, almost like the Air Force. So say they're Air Force, and then these other guys are Army, on-the-ground military guys, right? So the guys that are losing most of their lives are the infantry guys down on the ground. That's Rico, John D. Rico, played by Castor Van Dyne, and also Dizzy, played by Dina Meyer. And Rico and Dizzy, Dizzy really loves Rico, but Rico chooses Carmen when they're in high school, and then he thinks he lost Carmen, and Carmen told him to go, kick bricks, we shouldn't be together because she's going career and she's going to be a pilot, and she's with Xander every day. So she's like, I should be able to hook up with Xander, and you're not with me, and I know you love me, but we should go our separate ways, which is a very, mature thing for her to say. But now Rico's like heartbroken, and then Dizzy capitalizes, and right, Rico ends up with Dizzy. So now I'm bought in all the way. I'm like, yeah, Rico should have been with Dizzy the whole time. And like, they're on the planet with Jake Busey. I don't know if Jake Busey is related to Gary Busey. I want to say he is, just because they look so damn similar. But I wonder if that's Gary Busey's son or brother or something like that. But either way, Jake Busey's kind of funny in this. But at the end, towards the end, it's Carmen's comes back and she ends up with Rico, and Xander ends up dead, and Dizzy ends up dead, and you're like, holy shit, what the fuck? Sorry for spoilers for a movie from 1997. Go watch it yourself if you want to know all the details. I'm telling it to you out of context. If you want to know what happens, go see it yourself. But spoilers, you've been warned from now on. But Carmen is hot as hell. Young Denise Richards, I'm here for. But Clancy Brown, a young Clancy Brown's in this movie, and he starts off as like Rico's sergeant, and then must have got demoted, so now he's a runt, but he's the one that took down the brain bug and killed the brain bug, or captured the brain bug. The brain bug really creeped me out. It really did. I wasn't here for that. That shit was gross. But I love that, like, the teacher, like his teacher that he really respected and gave him advice in school, is now his general in his army, and they had no idea. They were like, oh, I heard this lieutenant's a real hard ass, and it's played by Michael Ironside, and his character was fucking great. I loved his character. He had like one arm, and then he had a metal arm because he's out in the field, and he's leading these troops, and he's leading his Starship Troopers, and he's kicking ass, you know, and he's one of those guys that you know, when he spoke, you listened, and he's giving Rico advice here. Rico's covered in orange bug guts, and, you know, it's pretty wild. But it's funny that at the beginning of the movie, it's these three in high school. It's Rico, Carmen, and Neil Patrick Harris's character, Colonel Carl Jenkins, and now he's a colonel, right? So he's a colonel, she's a pilot, he's now like a lieutenant because he's won his troops over, and he's like, you know, surviving rank officer. Everyone else has died, really, that was ahead of him, so now he's like the boss. So now it's like the three of them at the end of this, and I heard there's Starship Troopers 2 and 3. I think Starship Troopers 2 doesn't have any of these characters in it, but then 3 brings them back, so I'm like, fucking A, do I have to go watch 2 and 3? Comment below if you're a fan of Starship Troopers. Should I go see the second and third one? I did have to rent this movie, and I liked it, but I don't know if I liked it enough to rent 2 and 3 as well. So comment below if that's something you want to see me do and you want to see me review. But I think I like this movie mainly because of the love story. Secondly, because I've been playing Helldivers so much, and I've been liking that game, and this movie just feels so much inspired by, or that game feels so much inspired by this movie, that now watching the movie inspired me to go back and play the game some more. I'm like, oh god, what a vicious cycle of killing bugs. But I enjoyed this movie. 3 out of 5 stars, you know, about a 6 out of 10. One of those middle of the way movies that I enjoy and I probably will watch again at some point in my life, but I don't know when, so that's why it's 3 out of 5 stars, 6 out of 10. Comment below, what is your favorite Starship Troopers movie? What's your favorite video game that has to do with aliens or whatever? And what's your favorite space movie? I would love to hear those type of things. Should I watch Star Trek? I've been waiting for somebody to be like, watch the Star Treks. I'm more of a Star Wars guy, if we're being real, but I'm a movie guy. So if the Star Trek movies are worth it, I heard there's like a lot of them. So if they're worth it, I'll go back and start those as well. But stay tuned. I'm continuing my DC movie rewatch in chronological order, and we continue on with 1997's Batman and Robin, George Clooney's Batman, and that will be coming out next, so stay tuned for that, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss future videos, and I will see you beautiful people in the next video. Peace!